Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, 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 good morning. Welcome to the Candy and Kev car conversation. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome. How are you this morning? GoPro on. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you? How are you, cuz? Good to see you. How y'all doing this morning? Welcome, everybody. How y'all doing? This is your boy Kev from Candy and Kev car conversation, and I am here with you guys. Y'all forgive me for my grooming while I'm in the car. It's just, I try to be here on time. Good morning, Melanie. How are you? Mrs. Makeup herself, how are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Lori, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing this morning? Morning. What's up, James? What's good with you, good brother? What's good with you? Anna, good morning. Yolanda, good morning. What's up, people? Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. I don't know the words. Y'all forgive me. I would sing to y'all, but I don't know the words. Vern, what's up, bro? Did I say that already? If I did, please forgive me. Did anybody see Power this weekend? Did y'all check out Power? Did y'all enjoy? Listen, everybody, I've been getting a lot of inboxes in regards to fixing credit and, all of that good stuff. And I don't put pressure on anybody at all. But what I will say this is just getting information and not pursuing. I slept on it for several months before I actually even went through with it. But it was one of the best decisions that I made this year. I'm going to be putting up some information this afternoon that you can go on and check out my personal website in regards to credit restoration. It's a company that I partnered up with that I'm very... I tried it first. I saw the results, and I figured, let me share this with my peeps, man. Get them on board, because credit is very important. We're looking to have some stuff done in the next future. I mean, in the next near future, and it's credit that it's going to take to have those things. God, y'all forgive me. I'm a little sleepy this morning. Y'all forgive me. So we were. Please, if you're looking to have some of those things removed from your credit report that has been on there quite some time and need to be removed, I have a company that specializes in that, and I'm telling you, it's one of the best decisions that I made thus far this year, other than everything else. So listen, everybody, I tell you, I didn't sleep well last night, and I'll explain to you why. My youngest is in his first week of college, and I ain't even tell my wife this. And he didn't go to... It's for those that ask, thank you for your concern. Please, I appreciate it. That means a lot when you guys care not just about us, but our children as well. He was talking about going to Charlottesville. His school is going to Charlottesville later on this week. But my son Corey had a bad habit of letting his phone die. And I kept trying to get in contact with him yesterday. All of a sudden, things start happening in your mind. And then I was up 1 o'clock in the morning, still phone dead. And y'all pray that I don't punch him in his face when I see him, or when he called me, I, go completely ape on him. Because I think as a young person, the thing that you have in your hand the most is your phone. So you see it when it's at 3 and 5%, And it don't take nothing. There's a lot of plugs around. He can plug up his phone. So I can get me a good night's sleep. Maybe I'm being selfish, but it's more so I can sleep. And I guess that's just the the woes of a father, So yeah, man, definitely. Good morning, Paula. How are you? I was gonna sing for y'all this morning, but I can't remember the words to Teddy Pendergrass. Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Everybody already. Don't know the words, y'all. So I ain't even gonna keep doing that to y'all because I don't want to mess up that classic song. But yeah, y'all, so I couldn't sleep really last night because my son, unfortunately, phone was dead from probably, I talked to him about 5 o'clock yesterday, and he needed some information and, some things that he needed to get taken care of. And I couldn't get in contact with him. I ain't talked to him yet. So, that made me a little nervous. What's up, Big Rick? What's going on, man? Shout out to my homie that just got married. Not you, Rick. I know you didn't get married, man. You've been married for quite some time, but what's his name? Oh man, we went to high school together. It's good. Term, congratulations to Term. Yo, Rick, y'all did y'all thing. Y'all look real nice, man. Y'all look real nice out in the islands, man. Congrats. Hopefully y'all had a great time, man. Y'all look great. Listen, we're gonna be talking about relationships today. Today is the Relationship Tuesday. Most likely, what's gonna happen is my wife gonna come in. She's gonna jump in real late, and this conversation probably gonna go completely left. Because I don't know what she probably thinking right now. She probably got something else on her mind. But we're going to talk about relationship. Today is Relationship Tuesday. So Relationship Tuesday, what we're going to do is, a lot of times when you think of relationship, you just think of love relationships, like your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, all that. We're going to talk about relationship from a totality of everywhere. Friendship relationships, business relationship, platonic relationships, all kind of relationships, new relationships, old relationships, just relationships in general. And one of the things that I've learned over my 42 years of living is relationships are very important to maintain a good relationship with friends. Is very important. Craig, what's up? Greg, what's up, man? That's the Cheesecake King right there. Let me tell you, he put what's them people? He could put juniors out of business in New York, and I mean that. Yo, he got this cheesecake. It's called the White Kit Kat cheesecake. It'll probably kill me right now. But that he got the best cheesecakes in East Coast. If y'all don't know his name, Greg Smith, look him up. Greg Smith, put your information up. When I say this dude can create any kind of cheesecake you want, Kit Kat cheesecake, White Kit Kat cheesecake, Baby Ruth cheesecake, all kind of cheesecake. He's the Cheesecake King. He does the thing with the cheesecake, y'all. So check out my man Greg Smith. Also, a good friend of mine. We're gonna have him on one day this week. He started a line of T-shirts. I'm very proud of him. Frankie Luciano. We'll be wearing one of his shirts this weekend if we make it to Charlottesville. We're due to go to Charlottesville this weekend, y'all. Deciding whether going to make that commitment in that voice. But again, back to what I was saying again, and I just went on a whole other tangent. Relationship Tuesday. One of the key things in building a good relationship is communication. Communication in your relationship, whether it be friendship, business, or whatever, you have to have a great open line of communication. You have to be able to communicate effectively with whoever you're in that particular relationship, whether it be hey, Connie, how are you? Greg, I'm going to let you put your information if you want to put it up. But when I say he is the Cheesecake King, I'm going to put up one of his pictures of one of the cheesecakes he done for my wife for me. She liked White Kit Kats. When I say it was the best tasting cheesecake, He is by far one of the most creative, and it tastes great. Like, it didn't just look good, but it was actually excellent. But again, back to relationships. Relationships are one of those things that you have to have honest, open communication with. One of the things that I see, especially in business, a lot of businesses go south because someone in that business relationship never communicates effectively their dislikes or their displeasure in certain things, or if they see something going wrong, they never tell. Yes, Carol, you are off the chain. That was crazy. She was not playing. And she put that on the out for everybody to read it. She put that Negro on blast. Y'all sorry about that. Carol just reminded me of something. She put that Negro on blast. Listen, let me tell y'all something. If you don't ever piss off a woman and she go ahead and she your Facebook friend, Lord Jesus, she will put all your business out on Facebook. Let me tell you, Lord Jesus, and was very articulate with it as well. Like, one of the reasons why I try my best not to tell people off on Facebook, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna have a transparent moment with y'all real quick. And y'all, my family, I love y'all. Y'all don't make fun of me. I ain't the greatest speller in the world. And I don't read what I write half the time, and it ain't until I post it that I gotta go back and be like, daggone it, that's not what I meant to say. I don't like that look. Y'all forgive me. Hold on one second. Don't want the wide. Go back to 10 linear. No. Excuse me, everybody. Working on a new project over here. We're going to be going high definition pretty soon. I want video. Okay. Yes, listen, everybody. If you can see this here, we have new technology that we'll be bringing that'll give you 4K capability from the car. Working on it now. I don't know if I can show y'all. Like, we have another camera that's going to is installed in the car right now. And I'm still working on everything, but this will give us 4K. It'll be edited, and this will be the stuff that'll go into our YouTube page. Our YouTube page is going to be actually car conversation show with Candy and Kev, where it's going to be a little bit more in depth. You guys are going to be on there with us because you're still going to have this component, but we are adding another element, everybody. As you can see, it's another camera in the car. That's not y'all. Let me show y'all. See how I'm waving it to the other camera, and I'm just testing it out, and getting some, doing the bells and whistles. And then what's going to happen is, if you can see, I don't know if you can see from that camera angle, we're going to be able to have guests join us. So what we're going to be doing in the near future is we're going to be having we deal with a lot of individuals that want to come on the show. And what we did was we had our Monday night show that we're doing something a little bit different with, but we wanted to be able to maximize our platform with the car conversations, because it's growing beyond our wildest imaginations. And so we're going to implement some new stuff where we're going to have guests that are going to be joining us. They're going to sit right in the back, and as you can see, the camera angle will be different. So watch this. I'm going to show y'all real quick. And I'm going to get back into the relationship stuff. What time is it? My wife is... I ain't going to talk about it today because I love it too much. See how I can move... I don't know if y'all can see it real quick. Wait. All right. There we go. See, y'all can see I can't do too many things at one time, man. I'm looking at myself. All right, so hold on for a second. So see, you can see how I'm able to move that camera back to the back of the car and all that good stuff. I can, I want it'll give me all kind of dynamics and all that good stuff. So, yes, that's going to be something we're going to be implementing soon. Shout out to a good friend of mine, Michael Barbie. Michael Barbie, when I say this brother is doing the do, he gave me some great tips, advice, man. This dude is right now this one of the head individuals that it's a mixed gender basketball team, where the president is now Master P is going to be debuting coming soon. It's a lot of different teams owned by celebrity owners, and it's a good friend of mine, and he watches the Car Conversation. I'm proud of what this brother does. But he gave me seeds like, look, this is what you want to do to enhance it, so you guys can go to the next level. Made some connections with us, man, and I appreciate people that are willing to sow wisdom into what you're looking to do. All the time, a lot of time, people look for you to sow finances. The bigger key is someone that I rather have knowledge from an individual than always getting finances. Sometimes finances will run out, but if you give me knowledge and you show me how to do something and you show me how to network with individuals, that'll take me a long way. Debbie Willis Brown, how are you, sis? Love you so much. We are praying for you and the baby, and we want to see you guys soon. You got to let us know when you're in the area. So you can hear she's breathing heavy. That was a sigh of.
Thunder out and then clean up after her.
Where's your daughter?
In the shower, and he was crying.
So yeah, so that's what we're working on. So if you see me right now, I haven't stabilized it yet. I just wanted Candy to kind of get a look. So, we're enhancing the Candy and Kev car conversation. So this is kind of like, and I haven't like stabilized anything. I'm just, because I don't know where we want it and all that good stuff.
I thought you needed the thing.
I do. It's not recording right now. I'm just testing everything out because I wanted to see
What's
what
that
it looked
noise?
like. What do you mean? What was it?
You ain't hear beep, beep.
Oh, like that. Everybody know now.
No, that wasn't on there.
Baby, you know we're going to get shut down.
Hi, everybody.
So before Candy starts, you have 15 minutes of me.
But it wasn't my fault.
You had 20 minutes of me alone, so I'm going to let Candy go ahead and...
What?
And talk.
This has been on... Do y'all want to hear what's been on my heart?
GoPro. Power off.
Oh, God. He ain't got another toy. Listen, y'all. Do y'all want to hear what's on my heart?
GoPro. Power off.
I guess it's not listening to you.
GoPro. Power off. Ain't none of my machines listen to me, man.
Neither do your wife or kids. Ain't nobody listening. Listen, guys. Do y'all want to hear what's on my mind? If y'all want to hear what's on my mind, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. If y'all want to hear what's on my mind, then I just keep it to myself.
Well, people said keep it to yourself.
Oh, I guess they said keep it to yourself. I guess it's keep it to yourself Tuesday then.
Sometimes it is like that.
I mean, I thought that maybe the people, since we family and all, I could just, express what was on my mind, but I ain't got. Oh, I got a thumb. One person want to hear what 2 thumbs, 3 thumbs. Yay! Okay.
So this is Relationship Tuesday, Candy.
Well, I had something else on my mind.
What'd I tell y'all? Told you she gonna show up late and then just do what she wanted to do.
Well, what I'm saying is, as I drink my green juice, how many of y'all drink green juice? I drink green juice, and I have to say this, that I drink green juice, and it really does work. I have my own green juice that I drink, that I went and had mixed for me. And my hairdresser told me, she asked me, she said, Candy, what have you been doing lately for the last 3 months? Because when I get my bundles in, I keep my bundles in for like 2 months, and then I take them out, let my scalp breathe for a little bit, treat my scalp really good, then I put it back in. She said, when she took my bundles out this time, she said, Candy, what have you been doing lately? And I was like, nothing. What do you mean? She's like, Candy, I can tell because your scalp, the health of your scalp is so good, and your new growth, I had about like that much new growth. And she said, first of all, this weave has only been in your hair for 2.5 months, and you have that much new growth. and it's very healthy. It's really shiny and it's soft, and it's so I said the only thing that I've done that I can think that I did differently was that I've been drinking this green juice that has different there's this, I could tell you what it is, but it has different things like spirulina and cholera and
marijuana.
No, shut up. Moringa, and then there's 2 other things. I can't remember the other 2 things that are in it. And she said, I said, I've been doing that, and I've been drinking a lot of water because it was hot. And she said, well, you need to keep doing that because your hair is loving it. In 2 months, I had that much new growth, and she said the new growth is almost like it's I don't want to say it's a completely different texture of mine, but it's a healthier version of my hair. I did that. I shared it to there. You shared it to there again?
It won't let me.
Because I shared it already.
All right, cool.
Possibly. Go and check. So anyway, this is what's on my mind. So
I thought that was.
I had some people. No, I just picked up my green juice. So anyway, this is what's on my mind. We did on Sunday. I had the awesome opportunity to be a part of the drama ministries presentation, and it was on No Pressure. It was based on the song by Jonathan McReynolds, Pressure. Free of the pressure to be someone that you did not create. Jesus, take from me all the pressure. Okay, so that's the song. If you haven't heard it yet, you have to listen to it. Jonathan McReynolds, Pressure. And I've always loved that song. First of all, I've loved Jonathan McReynolds before he became mainstream. A few years back, my husband and I were visiting our family in Atlanta, and then that's when we were introduced to Jonathan McReynolds. And so I was so glad when he became known, worldwide or nationwide or however you want to say it. So congratulations to you, Jonathan McReynolds. But if you are a Jonathan McReynolds fan, he has these sessions that, where did you find the sessions? On YouTube?
No, it's on his Facebook page. What he does is they're called living room sessions, where he'll just go into his living room with an acoustic and like a house band where it's a completely stripped down acoustic set, and just like play and sing, and it's like really authentic. I mean, it's amazing. He might have a couple of background singers with him, but they just sit in their living room and they just freestyling. Like, he does covers, he does everything. But it's amazing opportunities. I don't know if he's been doing it lately, because I know he's getting ready to go on tour. And
but there should be old
tips. If you go on, you probably can go on YouTube and just look up Jonathan Reynolds living room sessions.
So so that was always one of my my faves. Do you need to stop there or not?
No.
That was always one of my. That was always one of my faves. I'm getting to it. So anyway, so the premise of the song is basically, there's pressure from these outside forces. For the outside forces could be the people that your people that mean well, your friends, your family, people who.
She said y'all gotta wait. I'm sorry, I tried to ask her for y'all.
People who mean well, but they're trying to pressure you to be something that they see you as. They see you as one thing, but that's not really what your passion is. Or they see you looking a certain way, but that's not where necessarily your style and dress or clothes or makeup or the way you wear your hair and all these things. And so I'm my age. About 5 years ago, I was on the eve entering a new decade in my life. And it was so funny because I was like, wow, what is going to happen? Because I'd always heard when you enter that decade, you begin to, your perspective on life really begins to change. It's like the pressure that you used to succumb to before, it's not as effective anymore, because you begin to really understand who you are, what your likes are, what your preferences are, what what you would like to do as a career. And so you just stop succumbing to the pressure to be something other than what God created you to be. So no matter what the voices are around you, as you reach that, so 5 years ago, I was 39, and I was just like, I think I had just had enough. I had just had enough of people telling me what they saw me as. They saw me as this. They saw me as that. And, they had they were well-meaning people, but it was like they saw me as, dressing a certain way, or wearing my hair a certain way, or the career they thought I should have, or how about this, the husband that they thought I should have, or the friends they thought I should have. And just all the pressure. You shouldn't spend your time with those people. These are the people that you need to be around. You shouldn't spend your time doing those activities or those hobbies that you like, because you're so much more than that. You're this. And when you hear all these different voices at one time, if you get a chance to go back and watch the video from our drama presentation, you can find it on the Bethany Baptist Church Facebook page, and you can watch that our drama presentation from this past Sunday. One of the characters, her name was Alexis. At one point, she just screamed and just threw everything down. And I remember 5 years ago, I didn't necessarily scream and throw everything down, but I was just like, enough is enough. I have to be me. I have to be Candy. I can't be this idolized person that you think I should be. And it's okay if you don't get me. It's okay if I no longer fit into your circle, because I'm dedicated to being me. And through the process, I'm not going to say I lost friends, because they're still there, but the relationship has changed. So it is Relationship Tuesday. The dynamic of the relationship has changed. There's no hatred, animosity, no, oh, this person's not speaking to me anymore. But maybe we just don't spend as much time together anymore. And that's perfectly okay. Maybe, it's going from we speak to each other, we talk on the phone. Well, first of all, real rap, I hate talking on the phone. My husband will tell you, I am not. That's one thing. I might have my own little hang-ups, but my husband is so happy that I'm not one of those wives that stays on the phone. If anything, when I'm on the phone, I'm playing one of my games. My husband will tell you, basically, my phone is a walking arcade system.
And a vibrator. Okay, that was just too far. I just was trying to figure out, see something that, I wanted to see something. But again, back to your point.
But let me just finish this. So I'm not, so maybe I went from not texting them every single morning to say good morning, or every single night to say good night, or whatever. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes me and Kevin will keep it real. There have been times when me and Kevin woke up and like maybe we didn't even say good morning to each other until like an hour later. It's just like, hey, and it's nothing. It's just life. It's just our human experience. And
it doesn't take our love away from each other. It's just like, we understand where we at. So even with us, we don't put pressure, unnecessary.
But there was a time that we did. There was a time that.
Babe, I didn't finish the statement.
I'm sorry.
So you don't know
go
what
ahead,
I'm saying.
Go ahead.
We don't put unnecessary pressure on each other anymore, because it's like, listen, this is who I am. This is who she is, and we accept each other for the who we are. And there was a time, yes, where Candy might have wanted me to be a certain way, I might have wanted her to be a certain way, and what happened was we weren't genuine to ourselves,
and that causes you to be frustrated.
And yeah, so even in a relationship, you can find yourself being completely frustrated by trying to change who you fell in love with in the first place.
And it's so funny because when I was, so like I said, you know, a lot of times people say when you turn 40, that preps you for 50, because by the time you're 50, you say what you want and you just really don't give a hoot. Well, at 39, I just remember feeling like, oh my God, I'm so over people.
You even get out of the, it was a time where I felt like to be that dude, I had to be a part of a particular clique.
I have to say this really quick. Can we pause on this conversation for a second? Because I have to say this. I saw that my brother SD just joined. My brother SD Bullock.
What's going on, SD?
SD, I have to say this to you, dude. So I did make a new running playlist, and so you're in there with India Ira. So Kevin, the fact that he's in there with India Ira,
it's huge. SD, I know you got a big announcement coming up too soon, man.
So maybe
you gotta let us know. Yeah,
so maybe we can come and do a live on location,
or you can call into the car conversation.
Maybe we have to be live.
But it depends on what the situation is. You don't know if it's a live situation.
But
so
anyway,
whatever it entails, SD, we gotta necessarily hook up with that, man.
But I had to say this though, SD. So the other day I went running, and I was on this part of the hill that I was just like, so for y'all, those of you who don't know SD is the man behind.
Oh man, hits like Sold Out by Hezekiah Walker. He has his own project. We play some of the music on it.
Oh Lord, the one I love.
Yeah,
for the one I love.
And he has one of the breakout hits. Our Men's Day choir sang it. Oh man!
And we actually, our choir just sang one of his songs.
It's the same song.
What is the name of the song?
It's a praise and worship song, but excellent
songwriter. What's the name of the song we sang?
Yeah,
but anyway, we sing that song now. But in any event, SD, I was going up this hill, brother, and I was like, man, I don't know if Candy about to make it up on this hill all the way.
Let me tell you the truth. She cussed. Your song came on. She got convicted and got saved all over again. I'm gonna tell you what happened. That's what would have happened with me. I'd have cussed. Your song would have came on. I'd be like, oh Lord, I'm sorry. Forgive me, Lord. I know not what I say in the time.
But I will have to say this though. When your song, Lord, you're incredible, so incredible, Lord. There's no one like you. And then so I got into my yes, one and only. So I got into my groove to get up the hill. And then the way that I set my playlist up, by the time I got to the hill, to the middle of the hill, you know what took me straight on in? I'm about to tell you, bruh. People all over the world, send it up. Send it up. And then, so Kyle Sanders was in there too. And so by the time I got to top of the hill, I was running like this. And then I tripped, so I was like, let me stop and get back. You know what?
Kyle
he's like, all nations and all. So anyway, when I was just about, listen, I was having a Kurt Carr moment. I almost let go. I was about to fall. Then Kurt Carr flapped his shirt open, his jacket open, his head. But I got up.
I was like, oh man, close that jacket back up, man.
He said, but I got up.
Just do like this or something. Don't show all this, man.
But anyway,
but listen,
I said but by the time I got to that top of that hill, and I heard Kyle Sanders said, "All nations and all people,"
and I believe,
send it up.
Esther, I want you to work on this with Kyle. Kyle ought to do like a workout CD. And because you know how it's when trainers be telling you keep going, like you just have Kyle just squalling, just keep on moving, just and then you just have him.
We gotta pray for you doing these squats.
Just squall 10 more sets,
10 more steps.
And I'm telling you, I believe that y'all will make a fortune, man. I want something off of that. That was a provisional idea.
You know what I think I got to do? That is just it.
Definitely, man. Hit me up for the announcement. We definitely.
That is just it. We are picking up SD and his wife one of these days, and we're doing a car karaoke.
Yeah. Well, they got took that idea, Candy.
What?
The white man that took the idea.
I don't care, because he ain't gonna do it the way we gonna do it.
Well,
plus, we is the children of God.
Will Smith. And
I don't care. We got ST.
They got in the helicopter, Candy.
Baby, we can get on the SEPTA bus.
Oh, it won't look the same there. But anyway, back to relationships.
So getting back to relationships. So, but yeah, when I saw that come on, I have to tell you, because yesterday when I went running too, I went running on Kelly Drive right after work, and I don't know, that song when it came on, the Lord, you're incredible, so incredible, Lord. There's no one. Y'all pick up his project. His project is really good. It's called For the One I Love by SD Bullock.
You can go on all of your
iTunes, Amazon,
everything. Go support it. He's our friend, so go support it, y'all. Go. You can listen. I'm gonna tell y'all this. That SD ain't ashamed to say. Y'all can listen to it for free, or if you got like what's that thing called? Apple Music. But you'll love it so much. I guarantee you, you'll also buy it. So,
because I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. Because me and Kevin keeps it real at all times.
We do.
So one day I went running, and I was listening to because I have Apple Music, so I had downloaded the whole record through my Apple Music plan. But what had happened was, the way my bank account was set up that day, I had forgot to make the pay. I had the money, but I forgot to make the payment on my Apple Music, because it's only what's like $4.99.
Yeah.
And I forgot to make it, so in the middle of a run, my music went dead. It was like Apple just like shut it down. It was like Steve Jobs was like found me and was just like boing, and just I didn't have any music. So I was like, that will never happen to me again. So I'm buying this, so at least I can get through this. But anyway, one of these days, since it is Relationship Tuesday, maybe one of these days coming up very soon, Esther, we're gonna pick up you and your wife, and we just gonna go for a ride, and we gonna listen to your music, we gonna dance, and then we gonna go eat.
Yeah, because we got new cameras, so we can see people in the back. You can't see it now, but we got all new technology.
Can I tell everybody it's in my car? It's my own bus in my car.
It's not in the car. Trust me, I take it out every time I get out. It's in my trusty. I got everything in my bag. Don't try to steal my bag. My laptop, everything is in here. I'm becoming a techie. Is what I'm becoming.
So now everybody know all your stuff is in the bag, so they're gonna hit you over the head and take your bag.
No, I'm from the hood. I mean, you can try to hit me in my head, but you ain't gonna get that candy. You gonna have to pay attention, girl.
So anyway, getting back to Relationship Tuesday. So like I was saying, when I was like on the eve of turning.
I was saying something. You said, hold on, let me say this
real quick.
So one of the things that I learned early in my growing up is doing cliques and stuff like that. I used to feel like if I was associated with a certain group of people, then it would make my social status look better. And what I realized was those relationships with those individuals was purely superficial. And I had to check myself. And this was, I would say, this was about 15 years ago. And I realized those individuals were only in that relationship with me because of what I brought to the table. When what was on the table disappeared, they got up and left me sitting there by myself.
And plus, Kevin, I'm gonna just be honest. I didn't like half them jokers, so I just started being mean.
Yeah.
Candy can be silly and funny, but Candy can be evil as a black snake too. So Candy just started treating them mean. I'm gonna just be honest. I said, first of all, little sucker, you following behind my husband for the fishes and the loaves because you a scrub, and I don't want no scrub sitting on the passenger side of Kevin's ride trying to holler at the other girls. So you gonna need to get out.
Yeah, so to Candy's point, like you have to really see what pressures are those relationships coming from.
Yeah, so and it's so funny because like everybody knows I'm 2 years older than Kevin. So when I started like having this moment of like, that's it, Candy is going to be Candy, and you know, and me being Candy doesn't mean that, because I think that sometimes people get it. Sometimes when people say, oh, I just got to be me, they take that as a license to be rude to people and to be just cussing people out, to telling people off, and you know, no, it's right there, not having a filter and all this stuff in that respect. And that's not what I'm talking about, because that's actually very immature. But what I am saying is, I learned to say no. I learned to say no to those things that I was feeling pressure to do, or pressure to be. If it just didn't feel right to me, I no longer felt pressure to do those things. So if a relationship didn't feel right, I didn't have to make announcements that you're no longer my friend and all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. But I just began to limit my time around that person, not cut them off. Some people, honestly, I had to cut off, because, you know, you have to understand who just really means you no good, and they're only around you so they can be up close to see your demise or to see you fall. But you know, so there were some you just have to cut off, and some I just, you know, began to be more wise about how I spent my time with them. But on another note, it was simple things as, you know, for a long time it was pressure for women to look a certain way or dress a certain way, and I just really threw all of that out the window. It's like my husband said, oh my God, I'm married to a hippie. But then, what'd you call me?
I said you goofy.
Well, yeah, I'm goofy. But no, like, when I would, like, pull out something that I wanted to wear or whatever, like, on the weekend or, you know, whatever, he'd just be like, first he'd be like this, and then he'd be like, but you know what? You're just your mama's child. Like, that's kind of, and my mom is kind of like, how should we say? My mom is a free spirit. Is that safe to say? How would you describe your mother?
You talking about your mom on here so you can tell her to go back to 7.7.6 to see what Kevin said? No, I ain't talking about your mama. Your mama is beautiful. I love your mother-in-law.
But now we're to, like, Kevin is to the point where, you know, it was like,
let me say this. It was a time where wherever we went, we felt like we had to walk in the room,
like we
shut
go to a cogent conversation,
or even with anything, like anywhere we went, we like, I'll be honest with you, and I don't share this a lot. It was times where we had, I just to appease people and to get the sanction of people. I had so much jewelry. And I'm talking about like custom made diamond pieces that was just like, when I walked into a room, or it would hit, or I would make sure a certain light would hit it, so you would have to make notice. And I realized, you know what? For what? I
remember one day I looked at him. I said, "What, you the new Mr. T? Take that junk off." I mean,
it wasn't junk.
It wasn't junk. But I called it junk because he had a yellow diamond necklace on top of a rose gold and pink diamond necklace.
to my old
and
Jola
on top
Ivy.
of a platinum thing. And I was like, man, you look like a somebody done painted by colors on Mr. T. Take all of that stuff off. But like, for me, I just am, you know, but I've really, when I need to dress up and when I need to look a certain way, I know how to play. I know how to, you know, be appropriate. But really, for real, my husband will tell you, my comfort zone.
Not Mr. T. It was more like, I went through that era, and you would understand this.
2 Chainz.
Where it was like, remember when everybody was wearing the, like, you know.
No, Kevin, you had layers of jewelry on that just didn't. It was obnoxious, baby.
It was like the more you had.
You had a car. You had a whole car.
Yeah, I literally had about, I'm not even gonna say how many carats. It was just ridiculous. And let me explain something to you. I had a friend that was a jeweler, Ivy. This was my man. I still love this dude. We ran into each other the other day, not too long ago, and this dude was just so happy to see me. Because
he probably thought you was gonna buy some jewelry. I
got
said,
out,
not today, Satan.
He got out of the jewelry business. He's doing well. No, he still kind of does it on the side. But
thank you.
This dude, if I was going to an event, this is how thorough me and him was. He would say, "Kev, here, wear this one," and he would give me. I'm talking about this chain would be about a ridiculous amount of money. He'd be like, "Wear this." He said, "So when people ask you, send them back to me." So I mean,
Kevin was like out there on that part, and for me, Kevin. So can you imagine? And this kind of gets back to what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Kevin was the pastor's son. I was the pastor's daughter-in-law. Our kids was the pastor's grandkids. So I went from being like, MC like Candy to now I'm dressed like Karen Clark Shear, which there's nothing wrong with how she dresses, but that just wasn't me.
Shout out to MC Light who got married over the weekend.
Yeah, shout out MC Light. But see, that just wasn't me. It was like, I literally went from being like wearing fun and quirky clothes to looking like at any time I could walk into a Kojic convocation and fit in. Like I looked like I was going to the, and it was so crazy because did I look nice? Yes, but I absolutely hated it. Kevin would tell you that sometimes we would leave church and on my way home from church, I'm sitting in the car getting undressed because although it looked nice, it wasn't me. So even when it comes to that area, I still know that sometimes I have to tone it down some, but Kevin and my kids will tell you, mommy does not care about matching stuff. And matter of fact, the more it doesn't match, the more Candy likes it. Like, I don't care about that kind of stuff. The more you throw before it became fashionable to mix patterns, I was doing it because
wait a minute. I've been mixing patterns when you was like, Kevin, what are you? And I'd be like, listen, I'm telling you, this is European. It's going to be in style in the next 3 years. And now you want to mix patterns.
But anyway, the thing is, and sometimes, as the pastor's kids, people will kind of look like, I don't think that's appropriate for you guys. And then they had me in these big old Kojic hats, and it was all nice, designer stuff, but it just wasn't me. I felt like I'm David about to go out and do battle, and they giving me Saul's armor, King Saul's armor to put on, and I'm just like, no, just give me some rocks and a slingshot, man. But I'm like, can I just have a flowery shirt and some polka dot skirt and some Converse and deuce out? Can I just rock it? And I'm gonna be honest. In the beginning, my husband was kind of like,
babe, why you keep talking to me and I'm sitting right here? You keep saying my husband to say, and I'm like, I'm sitting right here. If I was gonna say something, I'm gonna say it.
And also, I learned the power of no. Before, you just feel like, I'm very much. I'm a very sensitive, believe it or not, and don't laugh at me. I am a very sensitive and caring person. I don't cry as like, if I broke my arm, didn't cry. Broke my foot, didn't cry. I don't cry with stuff like that. But if you want to get me to crying, let me see a kid that looks like, they're being neglected, or let me see, someone being ostracized because they don't look the part, or, whatever. Those are the types of things that will elicit a response from me that's like, I cry.
Okay.
Hold on, guys. I'm sorry.
What?
That was our daughter.
Bluebird? Well, I didn't transfer the $9 yet.
That was just our daughter calling.
Right.
I just wanted to
So it's only 6 in there.
make sure she was okay. But
did you hear from Corey?
those are the things that matter to me. And I think all of this kind of started because when I was in high school, I ran track. And, you know, my parents separated when I was in grade school. And we literally went from being like the Huxtables, like, you know, to like good times. And so I went from having a lot to basically just being poor. And then when we got to high school, you know, we kind of figured it out. We got our little jobs or whatever. But I remember seeing people I went to high school with that may have been going through what I had just gotten through. And so maybe they weren't being accepted by the cool kids. So even though I ran track and I could have sat and been with the athletes or whatever, and my cousin was a hairdresser, so she kept my hair, you know, nice, except I kind of didn't really care. But she's like, no, because all I wanted to do was wear a ponytail because I wanted to run track. I didn't care about all that stuff. But I would see young ladies and young guys that just didn't fit in, and everybody would call them weird, and everybody would call them like, you know, like, what's up with them or whatever, to the point where they didn't come into the main cafeteria because they would feel socially awkward and have panic attacks and everything. So most of my high school years I spent sitting in the school counselor's office with the school counselor and some of the misfits, having lunch with them, because I don't know, that's me. I'm a flower child, hippie. Oh my God, forget, you know, those mean people. You matter to me. Like, I don't know who I am, and that's still who I am at the core. But when I was listening to this drama presentation, and even though I was in the presentation, because I know the song, as we're acting out the different things, it was just taking my mind back to like when I was in high school. I think I only ate lunch in the cafeteria twice my whole high school time, because I was sitting in the school counselor's office with the misfits, making them feel loved and apart. And like, yeah, I ran track and I know a lot of the popular people, but I'm spending time with you. Like, you matter. I don't know. And that just always was like that. Now, Kevin, on the other hand, he was bougie, silver spoon. So, you know.
And I'm going to say this. I used to have people that would make me feel, because my mom and dad were well off. My dad worked, he had military. He did 20 years in the military. He went up the ranks with the Port Authority. So, you know, I had a pretty decent life. I didn't really want for nothing. Plus, I was the youngest. And I used to have people that make me feel bad because they would be like, Kev, you don't know what it is to struggle. And so I began to like feel bad for being blessed. And then I had to realize, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not going to sit here and feel bad for being blessed. I said, and I was never one of those individuals that was that like flaunted stuff on you until I got older and got my own stuff, and then I'm gonna stun on you suckers. And that was a whole different.
Mr. T.
Yeah. I'm gonna stun on y'all clowns now, and I'm gonna show you how to do. I'm gonna show you how this is done. But that was through another season of my life. But I've always been one of those people. One of my best friends, he used to do that. But anytime if I got something, like, I would make sure, like, yo, don't you get that color so you can use mine. You know, we was always like, my buddy Teddy. We couldn't share clothes too much because at the time I was the number 1 and he was the 0. So we would walk together like 10. So we couldn't fit each other's stuff that much. But we used to always switch our sneakers and stuff like that, you know. And I had another, so I never was a person that would make you feel like, yo, I got this, what you got, and all that. I was never that individual. But I had to learn that, you know what, it's all right to be blessed. It's all right, your family worked hard. And I used to try to hide it and hide the fact that, you know, my mom and dad were doing well. And then there was a time where I was just like, you know what, that's stupid of you, Kev. Like,
it's so crazy because the people that had hiding the fact that they had, that's what you represent. And then the people like me, after my parents divorced, you know, we went from having to not having, and then we're trying to hide the fact that we didn't have any longer. So I don't know, it's just a lot of just getting back to that Jonathan McReynolds song, Pressure. And even as an adult, when I eventually turned 40, that's when I was just like, you know what? I'm going to be the person that God created me to be. I'm a quirky person. I'm an eclectic person. Like, even just, we were talking about my my running playlist. My running playlist, I have a little bit of everything on there. It's just, you know, I would have like India Arie, St. Bullock, shameless plug. And then I would have like, what's my girl? I cried real quick tears when she overdosed.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll never forget when I became a licensed therapist. I used to pray for Amy Winehouse, and I used to be like, God, if you ever gave me the opportunity to give her therapy, because I just. And
let me say this real quick before I lose this thought. One of the things that we learned, it was times where, you know, because we wanted to be socially accepted, we would do or go places where we couldn't afford, and then we'd be sitting home later like, why did we do that? Why did we spend that money? Now,
I ain't got it.
We be like, look, that ain't in the budget. I'm not even trying to front.
You know, I got a college kid over there.
I'm not even trying to front. Can y'all? Nah, man, well, I ain't got the money for that. Well, I'll take care of you. And I watch those people. Don't get me wrong, it's some people that are good-hearted people, and you know, all of that. But watch those people also that are always like, no, I got you. Watch them individuals, because later on, if they're not genuine, they will bring it back up in your face, and you will feel like, I don't do well with, no, I got you. Just come. We just want you. Man, listen.
But it's just pressure, and I just honestly, and I guess I'll put it
now,
out there.
Don't get me wrong. If you got us, I ain't gonna. It depends on who you are. I mean,
I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. I'm 44 years old now, and for me, I am so dedicated to being me. And me being me, I encourage you to be you too. And we might find that when the authentic aspects of who we really are, really come out, maybe we are not as compatible as we once thought. Or maybe someone that I never thought I would be compatible with. Oh, we are more similar than I'm finding that we are. I'm finding that we are more similar than we are different. So I guess that was just on my mind ever since Sunday, about just the pressure, because I've been there. You know, I've been there, as you all know. I preached for 12 years, licensed. Like, I sat before a whole real board of presbyters and college of bishops, and trained and learned and preached. And not to say that, what I found out was that the ministry that I do is not. Can I stand behind on a pulpit behind the roster or whatever it's called, rostrum, and preach like, yes, I can, but that's not me. That's not me. Can I do it? Oh, yes, I can, because I am a teacher. That's one of y'all. I don't know if y'all just joining us recently. Y'all know I am a quarter Jamaican, so I typically have at least 4 jobs working at one time. But one of my professions is I am a real life teacher. I do teach college. So could I get up there? And I do know the word of God, and I do have the precious Holy Ghost abiding on the inside. And I am credentialed. So could I? Yes. But what I found out was that that's not the population of people that I was interested in reaching. The population of people that I was interested in reaching most likely hadn't made it inside the church yet.
And the crazy thing is,
the population of people that I cared about, not only were they not even in the church yet, 9 times out of 10, they were just as quirky and considered a weirdo as much as I. They may not look the part. They definitely don't wear Kojic suits and dresses and all these things. The people that I was interested in reaching don't look like the typical church people.
And I'm going to say something.
So let me just end my part first. So even as an adult saved preacher, I felt pressure to fit into what the bishops told me my ministry should look like, and how my sermons should be. You have to have, your 3 points, and you have to have this, and you come from the Old Testament, and then you come from the New Testament, and you do. Yes, I've been trained in all that stuff, but one day I just had to say, no, that is not me. I believe that because I have the Word of God abiding in my heart, and I know the Word of God, I can sit and have a conversation with a person that's hurting in the middle of Broad Street and have it be 100% biblical, but never have to verbatim quote a scripture, because they're not going to get that anyway. But when we follow the example of Jesus went into the places where the weirdos were, where the outcasts were, just the messed up people, and he spoke their language. And that's kind of like, I'm like, I did the pulpit preaching for 12 years. I did the altar calls and all that for all those years, but that's just not me. And if that's you, that's fine. I'm not knocking you at all. If that's you, that's fine, because we need a little bit of everybody. But I just believe with all this quirkiness and weirdness that I am, there's a bunch of quirky, weird, unsaved people out there that I get that maybe the preacher in the pulpit would never get. Now I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead, Kevin.
I was going to say, I forgot my thought, but no, to Candy's point where she said the people that don't necessarily look like her, what I found out to be true is it was the individuals that were looking like me that just weren't happy because they weren't being themselves, and they were like this isn't really me. And I was like, well, I've been there before. You got to be who you are. If that's not who you are, if you want to be authentic and true to yourself, you have to, be who you are and not so much decide to being a people pleaser, because at the end of the day, you can be a people pleaser and not even be a God pleaser. And I would rather be authentic and true to who I am and please God in my authenticity and be genuine. And I think it's just a time and a place where we have to be authentic. We have to be and one of the things that I found out is with the generation today, they will sniff out fakeness. If you're not authentic, if you're not transparent, and let me say this, I want to be really, really, really cautious with people that says I'm so transparent that I'm irresponsible. Even with your transparency, you have to be responsible. So it's not about just glorifying all your all your hang-ups and all that. It's not about that. You have to be very responsible with your transparency, because not everybody needs to know everything because they're not mature enough to handle it. But even within being transparent, you have to be responsible, but you have to be authentic to yourself and be who God created you to be, because nowadays the generation that we're dealing with,
Carol, I'm gonna do it today.
The generation that we're dealing with will not respect and will not hear fake individuals.
And the thing about it is, the preachers who are called to this generation of young people, and you know what, it's the Candy and Kev show, so if what I'm about to say offends you, you can sign off. And
no, don't do that. Don't do that. Stay on here.
No, because I'm about to say this stuff. There are people who...
Well, you can like and share it first before you...
There are people who know the language, know the jargon, understand the times in which we are living in, because there are a whole slew of preachers that just don't understand. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. But there are others that get it. Now, if your congregation is conducive to the traditional style of, you come in, you have testimony service, people stand up and they testify, and then y'all turn it over to the hands of the pulpit, and then y'all lift a missionary offering, and then the choir sing, and then all of this, and then the preacher preaches, and then if that's what your congregation is conducive to, have at it and be fine with it, and that's fine. But then there are some people who that's just not going to...
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Let's just be honest. It just doesn't work for them. And I hate to see the traditional preachers bashing the non-traditional preachers because they don't do it like they do it.
And then you have some people that need the traditional, and
so it's like, that's what I'm saying. Everything, all types are needed.
Yeah.
So you can't say the preacher that has on, the jeans and the open, what is it, like the polo shirt and the sneakers. You can't say he's not saved and he's not being effective, because maybe that's who somebody needs to see. Because the truth of the matter is, some people feel like they don't look the part, or they're just too much of a bad person to come to church, and they don't realize a lot of them suit wearing, buttoned up, big hat wearing people,
but the thing is, I think, because the way you just presented it, that might make a person be like, yeah, I don't want to be one of those. You have to just be who you are. Like, if you're a person that wears the hats and all, that's great.
That's you.
I think as a whole, we have to stop fighting against each other.
But so that's where I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. So as I was presenting it, there's plenty of churches on one block. We know the truth. In one area of a city, we might find 20 different churches, and there is a church that fits your need. Just like there's all these different restaurants and that serve all these different types of food that's gonna nourish your body, there's different types of churches as well. There are some churches that, even the delivery and the way a pastor preaches, there are so many ways that the word of God can be delivered, not deviating from it, but delivered in a way that it reaches different types of people. As my husband said, I'm not saying that the good old school, Pentecostal, because me and Kevin grew up strict Pentecostal, but my kids, that didn't resonate with them.
Love you, Tanya.
They knew the word and they could understand the word, but when it became more impactful for them was when they sat under a preacher that was able to still give the word, but tell it in modern day parables. Do you know what I mean by modern day parables? They were able to read the scripture to the kids and then give them a story that they could relate to bring it home to them. There's nothing wrong with that. So just be who you are. And I say that with this caution. The only thing that I caution people, when you say, I just got to be me, I'm going to just be me, that's fine. But in being you, you cannot intentionally be offensive and hurtful to other people, because that's not nice.
I gotta go. Don't forget, like, share. We appreciate y'all. Have a great day. Peace out.